You're here today. You'll be here tomorrow, and the day after, and the day after, and the week, and the month, and the year after. And it's because you have always done the one thing that you didn't know that you knew how to do, and that's survive. I know that there's times where it doesn't seem like there's much. It doesn't seem like things are going to go in the right direction. Yet you're here. Yet you found some way to get up and just push forward. Let me salute you. Let me tell you how powerful you are and how happy I am to know that you're here. But there's somebody right now who's here, who's not as strong, who's here to catch a message. And that message needs to be one that's clear. You are not alone. This is not a battle you have to fight by yourself. This is not something that you must take on by yourself. We care. We need you. All we need you to do is make a simple phone call with 3 numbers, 988. Nothing more, nothing less. 3 simple numbers, 988. So you can make a decision that we all can live with. Because whether you know it or not, we need you to stay. Because tomorrow needs you. So before you think of harming yourself or harming somebody else, how about you harm that telephone and dial 988? And let's talk about it.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Pride Nation, it is a good Monday. It is a beautiful Monday. You see, today we're going to have a little bit of church. Today, we got to go over a few things. I need y'all to kind of zone in on this one. Let me know if the music too loud. I'm in my bag a little bit already. You see, it's about to get real ugly. I got some people I'm going to be calling to the congregation. I got some people who's going to fall into a certain category. But like all things, if it don't apply, let it fly. I'm going to say that again for the people in the back of the church. If it don't apply, let it fly. Usually I start the show off and I go through and I do my shout outs on who in the building with me. I got a lot of things to cover today. Because I've seen some things that haven't quite lined up with the narrative. So, let me not waste nobody's time. I'm going to get right into it. The 2023 NFL draft is done. It's over, right? Like, we already got that part out the way, right? Praise the Lord, right? We done. We know who we got. We know who everybody else got. What's blowing my mind is the reaction of you, the fans. In particular, the people I'm about to call to the congregation. I'm finna start the first one off light. All my Malcolm Rodriguez people, I need you to step forward to the congregation. Now, I'm not going to say I told you so, but just know that Brad Holmes did. Now, all you beautiful people who sat there and hopped on this bandwagon because it was a good story, you fell into the hype of Hard Knocks. And no matter who the person was, me, the Easter Bunny, old Saint Nick himself, how much they told you that this is not a starting linebacker, you wouldn't listen. And then Brad Holmes go and draft one. Wonder why he decided to do that. Well, Luke, you know we play a lot of linebackers. Nope, 4-2-5. 2 of them are going to be out there. It's going to be Jack Campbell, and it's going to be Ellis Anzalone. It's going to be those 2. Okay? And then I need to call one more person to the congregation. I need to call you draft what they call them, you draft value people, you positional value. That's what it was. Positional value. You see, it's funny when we look at positional value, because I realized something about you people on this past draft too. Then I gotta call my mock draft people to the congregation. You see, I can't leave nobody out. Not today. Gotta call you people to there. My Madden people to the congregation. You know, all you people to the I need y'all all to the congregation. All right? Listen to me. All of y'all who are upset about this draft, this is for you. I can understand if you are upset about the draft. But Luke, that's a contradictory. Nah. Because the reality is, most people are not really upset about the draft. They are upset at draft position, or AKA positional value. That's what they upset about. Oh, you don't draft a running back in the first round. Somebody told y'all that, hey, if you're going to draft somebody, take a running back in the first round. It's going to have the most impact. You didn't listen. But it's positional value. Brad Holmes has just told you positional value, my ass. Brad Holmes has just told you that all you people who mock drafted up, that's cute, but I don't give a F. Brad Holmes just told you people who said you can't take a running back in the first to hold my beer. You know what those people did? They backpedaled. They had a better backstroke than Michael Phelps in the Olympics. Oh, you know, I don't like the position, but I like the players. That's the first excuse. Oh, you know, when I looked at my mock draft, that's the funny part about it. They're not real. You know, I don't know if we should have took this person, or we should have took that person, or why are we taking that person? Brad Holmes basically told you he don't give a flying nickel. He don't care what you think about. He don't care about your draft position or your position of. He don't care. He's shitting on all the things you subscribe to in one draft. You should have saw how many of us were flustered looking at this damn draft. We were confused. Oh, you gonna take a running back? He would have been here in the second round. Says who? And I don't care if he was there in the second round or not. The whole purpose of the draft is to take talented players who make you better as a whole in a team. But no. All you couch GMs, all you people who, analytics this, analytics that, all your data points, all that shit didn't matter. It didn't matter. You thought you had it figured out. Nah. You don't like Gibbs? Why? Because he's a running back? But you have to like him, right? Because now he's on the team. You don't want to have to talk about it. Oh, you don't like Campbell? You could have had this. You're not even mad at the right stuff. You're not even mad at the right stuff. Half the people who said, "In Brad we trust," turned on him faster than a damn pack of lions. Pun intended. You're not even mad at the right stuff. You're mad because they didn't draft them with better draft positional value. He gave you 2 middle fingers to your positional value, and that's what upsets you. Then somebody said, oh, he's drafting based off a RAS score. And then you go and look at the RAS score for Brock Martin. I mean, I've never seen people spend so much time trying to figure out how to make themselves feel better about something they don't understand, rather than actually do some research and understand why this needed to happen. There was no other pick outside of a defensive tackle and running back that you could take at 6 that would have gave you the most value. Not a cornerback, not a safety this year. There was no linebackers this year. You didn't need no offensive tackles or nothing like that. That was the only position, the only one that you can look at. And somebody, not named me, I'm not going to do that. Because if I say it, it's not going to make the same sense because I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. So somebody said, if it were me and Jalen Carter's not there, I'm taking Bijan Robinson. Because taking a running back has more impact. But you took one at 12. You took the second best one at 12. Who the fuck cares? Seriously, who cares? Half of y'all celebrated when they traded DeAndre Swift, which, by the way, I think is a mistake. I'll show you later. But the reality is this. Most of you not mad at the damn thing. You're mad because everything you subscribe to, the hive mentality, has been destroyed in 1 second. It took him all the bit. How long is the first round? 9 minutes? Took all the bit of 9 minutes to destroy all you that subscribing BS. And instead of asking yourself, why am I subscribing to this? Instead of asking that, it doesn't make sense. Holmes drafts Sewell. Luke loves him for a year. Holmes passes on Hamilton. Luke hates him for a year. That's the problem with people. I'm glad you brought this shit up. This is the problem with people. Because this is what happens when you don't listen. This is what happens when you try to create narratives to make yourself feel better about facts. See, this is where the problem comes in with people. Luke never ever once hated Brad Holmes. In fact, what happened was Luke asked very simple questions that he's always asked, which right now should be the only thing you should be mad about. But no, here's the thing that Luke said about Brad Holmes. The Lions went 1-6, and I can arguably make the point that they were 1-6 because of defense. Well, Luke, you can't say. Yes, I can. Hit the number 1 scoring offense. The defense was hot garbage. The same defense that's been garbage for the last 5 years. Well, all of a sudden Holmes drafts a running back and Luke loves him again. No. Never hated him, never loved him. It wasn't the problem. I want things to happen that falls into a realm of logic. That logic is simple. Get the best player. Because if you positional valuely draft a player and he busts, who the hell cares? I don't care. They shouldn't care. Make no mistake about it. I'm going to go through and address every single pick. But I saw people complaining about things that didn't even have anything to do with the real narrative. You could have got him here. You could have got him there. But if he comes in and he balls out, who in the hell cares where he was taken at? This is why y'all was jocking Malcolm Rodriguez, even though he was playing at a less than average position. He was average at best. And y'all were hyping that shit up, but all of a sudden, he decides to go based on talent, and y'all can't wrap y'all heads around it. This too confusing. This too much. This is too much to put my head together on. You know what happened over the last 3 days this past weekend? Brad Holmes just sat there and said, you know what? I'm taking the talent. I would rather have the talent than to have what is left. Then I heard this narrative. Well, once Witherspoon came off the board, you still trying hard to fight into your narrative. He was never going to take Witherspoon. Well, Luke, you don't know that. You not in the room. Nope. But guess what he says? He would have took Gibbs at 6. So what that tell me? He was lying. No way in hell he would have took Gibbs at 6. But he would have took a running back at 6. And what that tells me is he traded down to 12 thinking that Bijan Robinson would fall to him. That's what it tells me. He traded down to 12 thinking Bijan gonna fall to me and I can get him at a better position. But then the Falcons came along and said, hold my beer. So he said, you know what? At this point, I don't have another running back I got that much respect for outside of Gibbs. So I'll just take Gibbs. Because whether you know it or not, Bijan and Gibbs are exactly the same. Gibbs can catch. Bijan can catch. Gibbs can run. Bijan can run. You know the fundamental differences between them two? And before it's just trying to figure out style, one ran a 4.36 and the other ran a 4.5. But instead of y'all being mad about the right thing, you mad because he disrupted y'all system. All your hard work, every mock draft that you did, it fucked up. It backfired. It backfired. It didn't work. It didn't work. And that's what upset y'all. That's what made you mad. Your narrative died fast. Now, you want to know what you should be pissed about? Or at least what you should question. You should at the very least question the following. You know what? Rather than say it, let me show you. See, I feel like sometimes when you show things, it makes a little bit difference. It makes a little bit more of a difference. So let me show you. To my people who watching, shout out to you. The real MVPs of this show. Let's find out what you should be worried about. Let me bring it to y'all attention for a second. Let me ease you into it. You see this right here? Let's start right there. Does your general manager do enough to fix this problem right here? Did he do enough to take you out of the top 5 and worst rushing defenses? Did he do enough? Was that one linebacker enough? You want to know what Luke's issue was with Brad Holmes? It's him not being responsible to take care of the defense. Because now what's going to happen is we're going to play the shoulda, woulda, coulda game in about 2 or 3 years. Oh, you don't know the name of that game? You never heard of it? Let me help you. You know how everybody goes on nuts and, oh man, we could have had Aaron Donald. We finna do the same thing with this draft class. Because now what you got to do is you have to pray that Bijan sucks. You now have to turn around and pray that Kalijah Kancey sucks. You have to pray that Gibbs is better than the guy took in ahead of him. And you have to pray that the linebacker that we took, which is the only linebacker drafted in the first round this year, you have to pray that he's better than the D tackles you passed on. And for the people who talk about the character concerns and stuff, spare me that. Because while you sitting up there worried about character concerns, the Eagles basically told you, we don't have an issue. Well, Luke, they got a stronger locker room. See, there we go again, trying to make ourselves feel better. There we go again. It's not a stronger locker room. It's not no, they looked at the talent. And that's what you got to now look at. But instead of you being mad about that, you're mad about some other shit that has nothing to do with the facts. You're not mad about the fact that he didn't really do the thing that you thought need to be done to fix a problem that's been in existence for the last 5 years. When a quarterback takes off, is Jack Campbell going to be the guy that's good enough to stop him? When teams decide to run the ball like the Panthers did to us this past season with 247 yards in the first half, are the D tackles that you were so happy to have back, and Isaiah Buggs and Kominski and Bonito and all these other little people that you thought you were so excited, are they good enough to stop the run? Can the one linebacker we added be enough to fix it? You're not mad at that. You're not mad at the fact about that at the end of the day, all you people who was hyping up the cornerback position is good, he was still looking for corners to add. You're mad at the fact that your narrative died. You mad at the fact that all the stuff that you hung your hat on, the goddamn hook fell off the wall. This is what you're mad at. You're not asking questions like, hey, did we do enough to solve a rushing defense? Did you do enough to do this? Or you're forgetting about the 340-pound nose tackle we signed. I didn't forget about him. Did you watch any tape on him? I'm on game 6 already. I didn't forget about him. And I can tell you through 6 games, the only thing I can tell you is, at the very least, he got a good first step. But that boy is higher than a giraffe's ass. When this pad level is that damn high in the NFL, watch what happens. But we can coach him up. Okay, you traded up all that capital. So that's your answer to the D tackle position. Which brings me back to the next point. We still got to now figure out, did we do enough to address the core issues on this team? But Luke, everybody loves our draft. You know what's funny? Everybody got a good grade for the draft. Every fan base think they draft won the draft. They team won the draft. Every single one of them are excited about what they got. Hell, the 49ers drafted a kicker in the 3rd round because they are excited and the fans love it. Every single one. This is the difference. We're trying to make ourselves feel better with stuff that's not important. This stuff is not important. If you can make yourself feel better, tell yourself the truth. Because these are the questions I'm waiting on people to answer. Will Gibbs be better than Bijan? Was trading down, getting that extra pick worth it? To all you people who was happy TJ gone, you just got the same guy with a little bit more speed. Okay. Oh, he wanted more money. All right, cool. Now you get to see if this guy's going to have potential. Hopefully it lives up to the hype. So let me get into how I view this, because I'm not giving out no grades. I'll grade it in 3 years. The same way I didn't give you no grade about Okuda, I just told you he's not going to be worth that pick. I'm not giving out no grades. So let me tell you what I think about our picks. Running back at 12. You know what? Let me show you. See, I saw a cool article. A really cool article. Let me make sure I give people their props. This right here. Oh, athletic player comparisons for the Detroit Lions 2023 draft class. Story by Zach Morin. All right, let's talk about it. Why is Javid Best on the screen? I'll explain to you why. You see, this particular writer, he compares Gibbs to Javid Best. And I know some of y'all are going to be like, oh, man, it's a terrible comparison. He more like Elvin Kamara. You keep telling yourself that. Go back and watch Elvin Kamara's film. Elvin Kamara ran between the tackles, and he did it hard. Elvin Kamara ran like a 4.5 and did not have any issues with your first contact. And he did that consistently. So much so that it made no sense. He was much bigger and much more fluent in how he ran through it and had better vision than Gibbs. At me on it. However, to the people who don't like this comparison, shame on you. Because to be honest with you, this is a very good comparison. If he is anything like Javid Best, Lord, watch out. To have the ability to do those same things, to break a small run, if he do all that, very good comparison. So how do I feel about Gibbs? Would I have took him at 12? Yeah, if Bijan is gone and I needed a running back to have impact instantly, you got one starter. I had one simple rule that you had 5 picks in the top 81. I forget. I think you ended up with 5 or 6 picks in the top 55. All I asked is to come out with 3 instant day one starters. If you come out with more than that, excelente. So let's see what he do for his comparisons for the next guy. TJ Watts. Not even close. Not even close. Don't see this comparison. So what are my thoughts on Jack Campbell? I made a whole video about it. He has a lot to work on, and I'll pray to God he can get it fixed. Man couldn't get off a block to save his life. Go check out my video. I showed the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's the truth. He gets lost in the shuffle, and many times he don't hit the gap right. But that I'm trusting this coaching staff to fix that problem. Because I would have probably took Kalijah Cansey, but it doesn't matter who I would have took. We needed a linebacker. And I don't care what nobody say. I spent over the last couple of seasons screaming we need a linebacker. Oh, which, by the way, you people who said that Brad Holmes don't value linebackers, come to the congregation. Just destroying narratives, and that's what you upset about. They're comparing my man Laporta to George Kittle. I can see it. I can 100% see it. And if he becomes George Kittle, great job. No problem there. We needed a tight end. Y'all wonder why I lost my shit over James Mitchell, and yet we still taking tight ends. He can't even shake Brock Wright, but you know what? Y'all all celebrated and crowned that pick. Okay. Let me get up here a little bit more. Let me get down here, right here. Trey Norwood. Don't know if I agree with this one either. I think Brian Branch, in my opinion, has the potential to be Earl Thomas as a ceiling, and as a floor, he has the potential to be like basically Tracy Walker. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I like the pick. Don't really bother me. Gives you another player, but he won't be starting this year. Definitely won't be a day one starter. And Brad Holmes all but said so during his press conference. So, okay. So, let's see what we got going over here. Oh, you know what? That's advertisement. Let me get down here. This is the one that blows my mind. I can't tell you how many people that I saw, how many messages I read, how many different videos that I seen, how many human reactions that I seen who was mad about the Lions taking Hendon Hooker in the 3rd round. What the hell is wrong with you? I seen all kind of narratives that don't even line up to the tape. Stuff like he can't play. He's not good. And do I think he can be as good as Deshaun Watson as a floor? Yes. And as a ceiling, I think he'd be just as good as Patrick Mahomes. Oh, Luke, that's big praise. I know it's big praise. But all you people who got upset and mad because we took a quarterback, and let me show you the hypocrisy. Shout out to my man Brandon Combs. Let me show you the hypocrisy. The hypocrisy is unheard of. You took a hurt quarterback with a knee injury. Oh, that's what we doing now? That's what we doing? Bet. Since we doing that, you had no problem praising, giving out A++ grades for taking a receiver who needs his legs to do his job. But God forbid the guy who needs an arm and a shoulder that has nothing wrong with it, you man, he got an ACL injury? Come on now. Make it make sense. You was ready to go into the season with Nate Studfield as your backup? No future behind Nate Stufffield? That's who you wanted? And you mad because they took a guy who can't play, but you was good with the receiver who didn't help you do nothing, and you still ended up with a top 5 scoring offense. Who, by the way, is out for the first 6 weeks. And you mad about this pick? I'm seeing messages about we should have took Levis. This guy don't gotta play. Oh, let me go back. Let me go back. See, I don't want to skip all the stupid stuff I had to go through and read. Well, Luke, he's 25 years old. Since when is 25 old? If you knew what I was doing at 25 and I knew what you was doing at 25, you was a wild boy. Stop playing with me. We have brought people on this team as free agents older than 25. You're going to get a quarterback who can finally throw the damn ball to a receiver in stride like Jameson Williams, and you mad? Do I got to take you back to the Jets game where Jared Goff underthrew him twice? Do I got to take you back to the I got too many examples. You get a quarterback who would have been a first-round pick had he not tore his ACL. And the only reason he was not a first-round pick is because most people are looking for a quarterback to start now. Or most teams have their quarterback already. But no, we're going to leave that alone. We're going to act like that's not the case. We're going to act like that's not what happened. That's not how this went down. You really getting mad. I'm seeing people make comments like, but Luke, that system he played in, your general manager say he don't care about the system. You want to go argue with him? Let me give you the address to Ellen Park. Hold tight. Go argue with him and tell him about what system he can play in, coach. Go tell him that. Oh, but what did he do at Virginia Tech? He was balling. The reason that the guy that you was all hyped about, and AKA James Mitchell, the tight end, was because of Hendon Hooker. Who, by the way, all of y'all was hyped about taking James Mitchell, who had an injury. Now, this is too much. You've gone too far now, Brad. First, you skip over positional value, Brad. Then you just go and take willy-nilly players, Brad, that you could have gotten in the second round, Brad. And don't tell me you couldn't. My crystal ball says I could have. You mad at shit that ain't got nothing to do with the real narrative. You could have literally have taken Will Levis, and as soon as Goff throws one interception or fumble, you as a fan base would have screamed, put in Levis. But then again, seeing how you reacted to the damn Hendon Hooker pick, you wouldn't have been happy if we took freaking Michael Vick or Peyton Manning himself. But that's not enough for you to get with the program, so we're going to move forward. Let's keep talking about the other players. This don't make no sense. I actually agree with this comparison. Now, this is one y'all not going to like. Broderick Martin as Damian Harris. I actually don't like this comparison personally. I really don't. I think his first step is phenomenal. I think his pad levels be way too high. I think that he does something that I chastise every player for. Until the whistle stops, run to the ball. He does that consistently. And I plan on doing a film breakdown of him, so trust me, it's on the way. I'm only 6 games in. I've already found some tendencies. But I don't know if I like this comparison. I think I like a different comparison. I think they should have went with Shaun Rogers. Well, yeah, he's not as fluent in the pass rush. I disagree. However, I still think it's a bad pick. Yes, I said that. It's a bad pick for which you traded up to move up to get this guy? Really? To get this guy? This is what you did. You traded up to get this guy. Like he really. And then you had the audacity to step to the podium and talk about y'all thought that y'all could develop him into something more in the third round. But y'all not mad about that. I got people talking about he'll run stuff. Wait till I show you the film. You're not going to like it. Let's talk about my man Kobe. People got mad about this. Why'd you take this guy? We already got tackles. He can play guard. He can play center. He can play tackle. And it's a 5th round pick. Relax. Relax. Some of y'all don't ran out of stuff to even complain about. Just relax. Bear bad news here. Let's say he ends up being a phenomenal guard. Now what? Let's say he don't end up being a phenomenal guard. It's a 5th round pick. You're gonna be all right. You're gonna be all right. Don't let it shake you. Do I think he can be as good as Lyle Collins? Maybe. From what I saw, because I had to go watch a lot of film on him too. I like some of the things I saw with him. He has a reckless abandonment to him. He just wants to move you. He just wants to do his job and do it so well that it almost looks like it's against the law. Let's go to our next guy. Wide receiver Antoine Green. This really pissed a lot of people off. I can't tell you how many people sent me messages about, I would have took this receiver. Receivers come a dime a dozen. And at the end of the day, I didn't care where you took him. Undrafted, draft, I don't care. You didn't take one high, kudos to him. And I actually think this guy's pretty good because I don't like this comparison. When I watch him, y'all not gonna like this comparisons. He reminded me of Nate Burleson. That's who I got. I got a Nate Burleson comparison. I like a lot of things. They're very similar in terms of how they decide to move and play. But Luke, you're not going to grade it? No. Nope. And I'm not going to grade it because at the end of the day, I'm tired of giving grades out. Before they even do a damn thing. Generally, you get a grade after you take the test. They ain't been tested. So how in the hell are we grading? Every person in here has been in grade school. And yet, we can't get it together. And that's not true, Steve-O. I don't expect starters in the 5th. I expect starters in the first. Let's say if you got a first, a second, and a third, yeah, I expect 2 out of 3 of those to be a starter, 1 of them a rotational backup. In this case, we had 2 firsts, 3 seconds. Was it 1/3? Yeah, we should have had a lot of starters, a lot of day one guys coming in. But at the end of the day, the things that we complain about ain't what the issue is. It ain't what the issue is. This is what we got to understand. You're going to spend the rest of your days for the next 3 seasons continuously looking at Bijan Robinson versus Gibbs. You're going to spend the rest of your time looking at Jalen Carter versus Gibbs. You're going to spend the rest of your time looking at Jalen Carter and Kalijah Kancey versus Campbell. You're going to spend the rest of your time looking at a host of goddamn cornerbacks versus a tight end. I've never seen what I've seen recently with the amount of people who essentially just turned on them. Turned on Brad Holmes. They turned on him. I didn't even turn on him. I questioned, when are you going to put high value picks on the defense. Now, let me ask y'all a question. To my people in the chat, 72 in the chat, hopefully I got 72 likes. To the people in the chat, I need to talk to you for a minute. I'm going to ask a very simple question. I need your participation on this. Did the Detroit Lions do enough to address the woes of their defense this offseason? Did they do enough? You had the 4th worst rushing attack. I didn't even do yards per carry because I'm afraid. You were 3rd and just say you tied for 2nd in yards per carry. Let's look at how many rushing touchdowns you gave up. You was 4th in rushing. Did they do enough to fix this problem? This is my problem with Brad Holmes. He go out and get all the fancy stuff, and he support the hell out of Jared Goff. When is he gonna start addressing the real problems on defense? What I don't want to hear this season, if the defense don't perform, since he decided to bring that exact same D line back, and he deemed it to be a quote-unquote linebacker issue, but somehow retain one of them linebackers, did he do enough? This is my complaint. It's not about who he took. I wanted a damn safety because I got tired of people throwing the ball deep on us. And what do you know? They kept throwing the ball deep on us. Did he do enough? You want to tell me all this other stuff? I would have took him at 12. That's too high. Jack Campbell's too high. Tell me, did he do enough this offseason to fix this problem? I need participation on this. I need participation on this. Did he do enough? Let me go through and look at some of the answers. I want to make sure I don't miss nothing. Lions got 5 players. Shout out. First of all, let me shout out to my man Dennis Hyde. Lions got 5 players in this draft that can play on day 1. I ain't comparing anybody. This is who they got, and this is the playoff-bound Detroit Lions. I love Brad Holmes. I love your conviction. See, I want answers like that. I want the confidence to be where it was at. What's going on, Super Saiyan Lion? I want to tell Brad to get the F at the one I was hurt. It blew up y'all scenarios. We drafted male for our superstar or Super Bowl. Okay. We had to go Giz, man. He's more of a receiver threat. See, nah, Chase, nah. I'm calling cap on that, bro. I'm calling cap on that because you know what? Bijan can do the exact same thing. In fact, I will argue he's better at it. But he didn't have as many receiving yards. Yeah, he didn't get the ball thrown to him as much because he can run that damn thing. That's a difference. And I don't care about the J-Mo 6 games. That's not a factor. They didn't have him for all of the 6 games last year and still had the number 1 scoring offense. So, no. Big T said, yeah, they did. Appreciate it. Pie says, nope. I believe, yes, they did. Cool. That's what I want. So all these guys you mentioned have to be your opinion and not Brad's and Dan's. You ain't paying attention, first black man on the net. You just came in and caught a tail end of some shit and didn't even realize that that's what you did. Didn't even realize what you did. I love what Brad Holmes did. He disrupted the establishment. He forced fans to stop subscribing to BS. He forced fans to stop being a part of the sheep, just following blindly. He forced fans to get out of that damn hive mentality. See, had you came from the beginning, you would have saw that's what my take was. And that I didn't have a problem with what he did because 1, we needed a linebacker. 2, we needed a running back, and running back outside of Jalen Carter, aka a D tackle, was the only thing you could take that have instant impact when you was going to draft it. But you didn't catch all that because you came in late and tried to make it seem like I just hate the damn black guy. Nope, that's not what happened. You want to know what happened? Let me show you what happened. Let me break it down. They are the 4th worst team against the run. 247 yards in the first half against the Panthers. Missed the playoff on the tiebreaker because they couldn't score 49 when the other team scored 48. And you in here making it seem like I got a different thing. Get to the congregation. It's not personal, but let's have the conversation. Luke, he wore that villain hoodie for a reason. He knew he was about to piss off the fan base. Of course he did. I'm loving the yes, because if you're telling me yes, hey, cool. Keep that same energy. Because if you are one of the yes people, I don't want to hear fire Dan Campbell or fire Aaron Glenn if the defense ain't holding up. This fan base, so used to losing, can't tell how good drafts look. I know, because it didn't go with the narrative of positional value. Defense still needs a lot of work. Amen. No way. Got my vote. I came to that same conclusion this weekend. Holmes is amazing. Brad Holmes doesn't care if we like what he does, as he should. He shouldn't care. We can't do everything in 1 year. Did Brad not cook with DBs in free agency or no? You tell me. They ain't got on the field yet. You tell me. I'm just trying to figure it out. If that defense is ranked 15th, I can guarantee you we're going to the NFC Championship. 15th. But if that defense is ranked 25, as Pod says here, I don't want to hear fire nobody. We had enough draft capital to set us up for a Super Bowl run, and they didn't do it. Instead, Philly did what we should have did. Nah, Steve-O, they going to change the narrative on you, bro. They're going to say to you that the Eagles got a different culture. We still building. It takes 3 years. All this BS that they subscribe to. I ain't trying to subscribe to the BS. I'm trying to get people to understand that this is not how it works. Steve-O says, Bijan isn't as close to Gibbs as a receiver. He don't have to be. If you want to draft a damn full-fledged receiver, then just take the receiver first. But he wasn't worth that, right? He took what he thought could help us immediately. And I got to be honest. If he turned out to be Javid Best, I'm happy. If Javid Best, minus the injuries, is his floor, whew. If Elvin Kamara is his ceiling, whew, I take it. I take it. I'm just trying to make sure we make sense of it. That's all. That's what I'm trying to make sense of it. When you go back and you look at the season, you tell me why we lost the games that we lost. If you can find one game that you want to blame on offense, fine. I'll give you New England. There, you want to blame offense? There it is. One game. 17 games, you found one. Good luck. Did he do enough this offseason to fix that? If the answer is yes, God bless you. If the answer is no, God bless you. Oh, you keep bringing up one game. You mean bring up more? You think they got to fourth in rush defense off of one game? you think that's what they did? You think they got the fourth in rush defense as a whole off one game?
Wake up! Wake up! Wake up!
Come on now, wake up. Come on now, wake up. Bruh, so sad to say Lions still ain't get out of the gauntlet. We couldn't afford for Carter problems to blow up on him. I feel you. What about Cansey? Because you had to afford to take Cansey at 18. You know he went 19. I don't even care who they didn't get. I just know what's going to happen. I got to sit here for 3 years and hear the comparisons all day. And the idea that we're concerned that it might blow up on them, guess what? You could take any pick you got now. Gibbs cannot be that guy. Jack Campbell cannot be that guy. We can have all them same people and they cannot be that guy. But at the end of the day, it's going to come down to us being 100% honest about ourselves. If I heard fans being mad that we didn't do enough to address a defense who is ranked 4th and give it in rushing yards, I didn't even go and check what the scoring was, but I think it's 30. And then you're going to turn around and tell me about the last 7 games? Come on now. This is what I'm talking about right here. You know I love me some You First Black Man on the net. I rock with you 100%. He says, you embarrassing yourself again. What were the defense statistics when they went 8-2? I give you the big picture. You want a sample size. What you just did was, told me I'm going to sell you a painting. It's a Van Gogh. But I'm only going to sell you the corner of it. I'm only going to sell you the corner of the photo. You told me I'm going to give you these classically worn Jordan rookie sneakers. But I'm only going to give you one shoe. I'm giving you the big picture. You talking about the last 10 games, they played 17. Did the season stop after those 10 games? Did that happen? You do realize they had the same records as Seattle Seahawks and lost in a tiebreaker because they couldn't score 49 to give enough 48. And before the people, and I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to do this because some of y'all need to see it to believe it. And I find it funny how we have short memories. I let everybody have a happy moment and I left it alone. I didn't say nothing. I said, all right, cool, we're going to ride with it. Guess what? I got real bad news for you. For all you people who want to move the goalpost and want to make it about something that ain't got nothing to do with nothing, I'm going to give you your time to talk because I'm going to drop that link in there. And I want you to hop in and break it down and let's have a conversation about it. But let's really go through and talk about it. Since we going to do it, right? Since we like taking sample size to prove points, right? That's what we like. We like sample size. That's how we're going to prove a point. This don't make no sense. I can't believe I'm going to have to do this. Let's go back and look at these teams. Let's go down memory lane for the people who are hard of hearing. For the people who want to have a platform. I'm going to give it to you today. Because this is about truth, not this other stuff that we're talking about. I gave you the whole sample size of an entire season. I didn't give you the sample size of 4 games. I didn't come here arguing 6 games. I asked a question. Did they do enough in the offseason to fix the following problems? You are the 4th worst team in rushing yards given up. In terms of yards per carry, you're tied for 2nd at 5.2. You're 4th in rushing touchdowns given up. You're 4th in first downs on rushing downs being given up. I asked that question, but we want to talk sample size, but let's talk again. Who in the hell did they beat? You want to talk sample size? Talk to me about it. You want to tell me Green Bay was a good team? Oh, let me guess. Now we play our schedule? Who in the hell they beat? Who? You gonna tell me the Bears is a good team? Giants is so special, right? They're a playoff team, Luke. Cool. You lost to Buffalo on Thanksgiving. It was close. It's not horseshoes, it's football. You beat a Jacksonville Jaguar team in a weak AFC South. You beat a Viking team who you knew was trash. You barely beat a Jets team. Don't care, you still beat them. They're not good. And then you had a chance to still control your own destiny, and you get demolished by a goddamn Panthers team. Who in the hell did they beat? You want to tell me about 8-2? Where are the good teams at in this 8-2? I'll wait. You tell me that, and I'll give you back to the point. Let's go back and look at the whole season. Not 8 and not a 10-game stretch. Let's talk about the whole 17-game season. You were 4th in rushing defense. And you going, man, come on now. Come on now. You was 4th in come on now. Come on now. Lawrence, please talk to him.
Wake up! Wake up! Wake up!
What you talking about? You want to give me a 10-game sample and I'm trying to figure out who the hell we beat? Had they handled business earlier, we in the playoffs. But I can't talk my talk. Got it. Thank you, One Funky Line. That's exactly. We're going to find out. We're going to find out. I just don't want to hear that fire Dan Campbell, fire Aaron Glenn crap. That same D-line was threw out there. Now, I'm praying that he ain't done. I'm praying that he going to add somebody in free agency. I'm praying he going to add somebody via trade. Just add somebody that can complement McNeil. And I'm happy. You really only need another D lineman that can do it. I'm not expecting big things from Broderick Martin. I'm not. He needs a lot of work. And I'm not expecting that. I am expecting to see a team that can go out and compete. Because guess what? The universe has somehow showed favor to the Lions. At least on paper. We're going to see how much favor they get when it comes to the schedule. But I want to see what they do. Because now you don't have to worry about Big Bad Aaron Rodgers. I wish he stayed. I want to smack on him some more. You don't got to worry about the Bears. And the Vikings may not be competition. They rebuilding. So the standard should be high. I'm happy with what we did so far. I just want to stick to the facts. I just want to make sure I point these things out. Pascal coming back healthy. We still don't know many free agents. And, I'm down with that. I'm cool. I'm just talking about thus far. Thus far, I want to know thus far. Just thus far. This offseason, has he done enough to fix the problems versus the run? That's it. If your answer is yes, thank you. We have a new D-line coach too, so there will be improvement, Luke. I'm hoping. That's like I know offense, Big T, but you probably don't have your fair share of women, right? Right? And every time you got a new one, you thought she was gonna be improved upon. But at the few small steps, I'm pretty sure you don't got a few of them that you was like, oh no, let me go ahead and let me skate on you. Things should be different, and we gonna find out, including me. But they hate the Hooker pick. They hate it. Luke, they would be hella good this year. They will win the division, keep that same energy. I'm expecting them to. So energy cap. What you think? What you think this is? You think they get a chance to have a weak division? And all I'm looking for is a playoff berth? Oh, no, my guy. My expectations been high. They gonna stay high. Yeah. And if they don't win the division, I'm gonna evaluate it based on what I see. And if it's defense related, I'm not looking at Aaron Glenn. I'm not looking at Dan Campbell. I'm looking at one person. So same energy cap. Let's have fun with it. Let's have fun with it. Now, if you disagree with me, this is where the part of the show where I don't talk my stuff. I don't say what I had to say. I left a lot of it out because it's good for another video. But the thing that irked me was people mad because a position of value didn't happen. People mad because you don't take running back to the first round. The hell? I don't care if he performs. That's all that matters. And if he don't, then it didn't matter no way. I don't want to win when it's a weak division. I want to dominate a strong division. Praise the Lord. Talk to him. My expectations is high. It shouldn't even be coming down to a game here or there. We should be talking about resting players at the end of the season. He says, I don't want to strike while the iron is hot. I want to always strike. Talk to him. That's why I don't like the, but we had a weak schedule talk. Oh, you ain't gonna work. Hey, don't skip over Vail comment. Vail beat me. I told Vail that Hendon Hooker would be drafted somewhere between the first and second round. It looked like the Lions was going to do it if they didn't get a trade, but apparently they made a trade with the third, so I lost a bet with her. Shout out to the Queen for winning that bet. Got to give you your flowers. You earned it. Let me give y'all a chance to get up in here. Y'all can yell at me and tell me how crazy I am, and I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Not great in the draft. Come back and I'll give you a grade after they perform. I don't care what experts are saying. I don't care what everybody on YouTube is saying. I don't care what all these other people are saying. I'll give you a grade in about 2 seasons. I'm still waiting on Iffy to do something. Come back then. You want to come in here and yell at me? Feel free. The world is yours. The link is in the description. Let me go ahead and pin that thing to the top. Feel free. Let me put the poll up. I want to know. I need people to talk to me. All right? All right, my first guest is in the building. I'm open floor for people to yell at me because I don't want to be disrespectful to my guests. I'm going to cut the music off. I just had to have it this way because I just knew that I'm not for the patty today. This wasn't patty Luke. This was confident Luke. He said, I want that track in the background. You won't believe it, but a guy on YouTube made this. And if you want it, it's free. Hit me up on Twitter or Instagram, and I'll tell you how to go get it. Exactly where it's at. Shout out to him. My man Crimson Shadow was in the building.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Crimson, what it do, brother?
Not much. Same old going on here. I mean, there went the track.
You want me to leave it on for? Hey, my bad. I ain't want to listen. I ain't want to do you like that.
Nah, you're fine. I just met.
And just for those who don't know, the track is called "I Won't Smoke."
Not a bad track. I gotta admit that.
I wish I could make it up. It's called "I Won't Smoke."
It's clean, man. It's clean. But
talk.
Well, my talk was, I mean, you saw me mostly in Discord. At first, I was royally pissed at the draft, at first I was confused as hell at the Gibbs pick, and I was the guy that wanted Carter. You know how I was about Carter. I was ride or die with that guy. So I was more relieved than anything that the Bears were scared off from Carter too, and he went to the Eagles. Sucks that they made the Eagles even stronger, but I'd rather not deal with them 2 times a year. Thank you very much. But the rest of the draft, and like you've asked the question, did we do enough to address the run game?
Facts, right?
The thing about it is, okay, it's going to depend on how does this Broderick kid play? Is this kid like some sort of diamond in the rough? Is he going to be like the next James Houston? I don't know. That's the $1 million question. Is it going to improve with Campbell? Yes, I think Campbell is much better than Alex Anzalone and much better than Malcolm Rodriguez. That said, he's still wrong. He's still going to need time, and he's still going to mess up. So we're going to be expecting a lot. Whether or not he's going to be starting day one, I have no idea. Knowing how we are with rookies, we tend to ease them in slowly, like we did with Kirby, like we did with a lot of other players. So I don't know what the heck it's going to look like. Are we going to get the first half of the Lions, or are we going to get the second half? Because even then, like you said, Luke, we didn't really beat anybody all that great. The only thing I can say is the Giants, at least they won a playoff game this last season. I can give them that. But you didn't really beat anybody other than maybe Jacksonville. And Jacksonville was pretty dominant last season. They're probably going to be dominant again. So fantastic there, but you got your ass kicked by Carolina, and then it was pretty much done. You had nothing left to play for. I mean, good on you for sticking to it in the end, but there's still a lot of questions. I'm still questioning the D-tackle position, and I still question the last 2 picks Holmes made with Broderick and Colby, which seem both very interesting. Like, the DT looks like Sika. He looks like a discount Sika Ika.
I won't go that far. I won't go that far. I feel like Sika's on the ground more than this guy. But let me address this real quick. Daryl Thompson says, Luke, you predicted 10 wins in 2021 with less talent. You damn right. Look at the schedule.
Yeah, I know.
Look at the schedule. I'm not being, listen, my prediction wasn't crazy. You look at the schedule. You telling me we really should have lost to the Vikings? This is a last-minute touchdown we lost on. You telling me a team scores 45 points and we lose because we give up 48?
We shouldn't have lost to the Vikings. We
shouldn't have lost to the Patriots.
We should have lost to the Patriots. We should have scored at least on the Patriots. We shouldn't have lost to Dallas. We should have won against Miami. Don't get me started on that fucking game.
No, listen, let's go to the game that should have counted the most. You shouldn't be losing to the damn Panthers.
That was a weird-ass game. That game
I'm just putting it out there. Listen, what else you got for me? I got more people coming in. I want to give them a chance.
All right, I'm going to get some coffee.
Appreciate you, brother. My man, D-Map Zoom. You in the building.
What's going on, my brother? What's going on?
Not much, man. Talk your talk. I mean, the draft, as far as I'm concerned, I don't really care. I'm looking to see, did he hit? Are these good players or not? What are your thoughts on the draft?
Yeah, some of these players look really good, while others, like, maybe, I'm not sure. But, hey, let's say you never know unless they play. But as far as the D-line goes, yeah, so far he hadn't really done much. Than what re-signed the dudes that we already had was Kaminsky and Bugs, right? We re-signed those 2, and then it's like we had that guy to let around Broderick, which he big and all, he a lot of training and get better, but it's like other than that, it's like we really didn't do much. My guess is he still got cap space left, so it's like he might get back in free agency, especially at the roster cuts and go get some guys. That sounds like my best bet. Other than that, it's like he haven't did nothing as far as D-line goes. And that's the main part we need help with. So how freaking Panthers ran it down Arthur Road to say, yeah, bro, you about to take this, you about to like it.
I mean, listen, I look at it like this. I wouldn't care how it worked. Like, for me, the fans are not mad at the fact about the defense. They're mad because it does not line up to a lot of these narratives that they were pushing, like positional value. They're mad because it didn't line up to a lot of the stuff like these narratives, like Gibbs was better than B. John. They're mad because you don't take a running back in the first. Like,
I'm sorry.
Where did this stuff come? Why do we subscribe to this stuff? Where did this come from?
Oh man, I'm sorry, but that's stupid. Like, what the heck does it matter where you draft a player as long as you get the guy you want on your squad? Like,
and he
that's your factual. Like, what the hell is that? Like
on one hand, they want me to celebrate Malcolm Rodriguez because he's a 5th round pick. But we can't celebrate these other guys if they perform. If Gibbs performs and lives up to the bill, nobody gives a shit he took in 12th overall. If Jack Campbell becomes the next Luke Kuechly or Brian Urlacher or hell, at the very minimum, Leighton Vander Esch, people probably wouldn't care.
I would love it if that happens. But to me, that's just dumb as hell. Like, really? Oh, man, could have had this guy. I'm like, man, Brian Holmes going to get the guys he wants. Like, what difference does it make where you get him? Like, oh my God, I took a running back. Literally, I was watching the WriterWrong Sports live streaming. They was pissed when Gibbs got picked. I'm like, what y'all mad for? This is one of the best running backs in this draft.
Facts.
Like, you see,
facts. He's one of the best ones. But
Carter clearly there's a reason why Brian Holmes didn't draft Carter. Clearly, there's a reason. You know, it's a real reason when Seattle passed up on him too, because they need a D line just like us.
But I think that's the myth. That's the myth. See, the myth was that they needed D-line. I'm also a Seahawks fan. I've said this many times before. I like the Seahawks, the Bucks, and the Lions. When I grew up, different reasons, I liked those teams. I simply started doing Lions content because we were underrepresented, and it was freaking pissing me off. Okay? So I can tell you right now, as much as people talk about they needed a that was mock drafts and those fake experts who get it wrong every year and still get paychecks. They didn't do that. They did when Pete Carroll saw an opportunity to recreate the Legion of Boom with Cam Chancellor, a physical corner, and Richard Sherman, another corner. That's what he did. That's all it boiled down to.
Gotcha.
So I don't think it was a matter of that, because if he had every opportunity to take a bunch of D tackles, he came out and took a receiver to do what? To help the damn quarterback. Because once you get past Lockett and DK Metcalf, which everybody thought to rotate everything to Metcalf because Lockett was hurt. So he changed that. So
yeah, it made that offense real predictable.
Yeah, so
they had to get somebody else. Okay, that makes sense. So I thought they needed D tackles. I would say they passed on too, but now you said that. Okay.
No, man. Okay. Listen. A lot of teams passed on Carter because they couldn't wrap their head around it. The Eagles told them to hold my beer. Let me get some people in the building, D-man.
They said, man, dude, it was like we trying to get back to the Super Bowl. Like, we didn't improve the D-line. We already had dudes 100% on defense already. Like, all right, man, gotta get this stood. Like, you keep falling. Like, yeah, we take him. We gonna move up real quick. Like, yeah, it was on them. Like, oh yeah, whoever you are, yeah. But let me get that. Picking it up. You had this.
Let me go ahead and get my other guests up in here, D-man.
No problem. I made my dinner anyway. I just want to make this quick.
Hey, for sure, man. You be blessed, brother.
You too. Stay safe.
Right. Yeah, yes, sir. Bringing my next guest. He ain't been on in a while, but I'm happy to see that name pop up. My man Numbers J is in the building. What it do, brother?
What it do, man? What up, though?
Listen, I got the I want smoke music going. You know, I want somebody to come talk to me and tell me I don't lost my damn mind. These fans, they're not mad at the right stuff.
Well, unfortunately, I hate to disappoint you, but I'm actually coming here to back you up today.
Uh-oh. I thought you was gonna come in and chastise me. Oh
man, you know, no. See, no, we know we go back like no way back. You know, we 30-30. We still stick together.
hey, let's talk to him. Tell me, man, what's your thoughts on the draft and a lot of these false narratives out here?
Look, it's like this, man. Like, I can see both windows. Like I said in my own stream the other day, I understand what the fan base can be upset about, but at the same time, it's like, okay, I already knew at some point when we traded down, like, yeah, we taking a skill position player, because I said once you move away from Carter, you pretty much going a whole different direction. So I was already kind of prepared for it. It just came out like that. But, you know, Jack Campbell, I do like the prospect, but I'm scratching my head at the same time. You know, when people gotta understand something, and because we used to hear this a lot when Bob Quinn was around. You know, we always used to do the round tables. They always say you gotta wait till the rest of the draft out. When I get hyped for the draft, the very first thing I expect you to hit on is the first round. I shouldn't have to hear I gotta wait for the rest of the draft. That something tells me something's wrong about that. That's what I will say.
Go ahead and talk your talk. I ain't got nothing to say. Go ahead and talk your talk. Call them to the congregation.
And the thing about it, man, is like, you know, if you tell the positional value, I will say is this. It's not positional value. It's about flexibility. Like, I feel like with this draft, it's a good draft, but at the same time, it's more of a lateral draft. Like where, you know, because you gave up a lot of guys who were on the last year of their deals that you weren't trying to spend money. So you really just went there and said, hey, look, let's replace everybody that we got rid of. That's pretty much what you did. That's why I was like, I had mixed emotions about the Swift trade. I said that in the chat because it's like when we got DeAndre Swift, remember, Carry-On was on the team, and he just didn't get no clock at all. And then you was iffy with giving Swift minutes, and it was just the Adrian Peterson show. So I get why Brad Holmes traded him because he didn't want to do him like that. He didn't want to keep him on the roster, knowing his ability.
And see, that part right there, Nomis, is the truth. It ain't had anything to do with anything else other than he said, you know what, we want to go in a different direction. I'm going to send you home. Because what we trying to do and what you doing is going to be different. And that's the truth. It had nothing to do with that. And I'm going to get into why I think it was a mistake to trade him.
Yeah.
But again, in order for me to do that, I got to show him. And shout out to the Darren who says, I thought the draft was pretty good. If the draft was in the order of 12 Brent, 18 Gill, 34 Campbell, no one would be complaining about. Which is what's blowing my mind. They're complaining about bullshit.
Yeah.
They think the grass is greener. And it's fertilized with bullshit.
I can't believe we got people mad about taking Hendon Hooker right now, bro. I'm lost. I was at work heated, bro. And then when I put out a tweet and said, man, because you know they took that dumbass tight end pick, and I was like, man, I'm mad at my job and I'm pissed, and the Lions taking the tight end, and then like 2 minutes later I find out we took Hendon Hooker. Man, when I tell you I jumped up there and knocked my water over, the bat flip, man, I swear I was so happy. I said, man, it took 13 years for these fools to draft a quarterback in the top 3 rounds, and they got this guy.
Man, listen, they don't get it. My man Daryl Thompson says, how come you cats aren't on any scouting teams? I don't know if that's referring to us or not, but to me, I'm cool with what we did. I don't care. He disrupted the whole entire city. He literally just exposed the Matrix. That's what he did. He just, everything that everybody thought about, he debunked it. Brad Holmes don't care about linebacker. He took one 18th overall. That debunked the lie.
Yeah.
Brad Holmes cares about positional value. He said to hold my beer. I'm taking a running back because he's going to make us explosive. And listen, I would love to be an NFL scout, a college scout, or any other scout. But go and ask any scout who's a scout, and the ones who got families, and see how much they be away from their family. I got one life. It's very short. I don't want to spend half my time on no damn traveling when I can't do it with my kids. Sorry. Don't you dare for 1 second think I ain't qualified. don't dare. Don't you
what's so funny?
Go ahead.
We all wanted Isaiah Simmons a few years ago, and you know nobody was screaming for positional value then. And then like Okuda got taken there, everybody was excited. You know, and I defended him too. You know what I'm saying? I wanted Simmons more, but I defended Okuda. I was cool with having him here because I thought he did have potential. But it's like at the end of the day, you take Simmons, you wouldn't be screaming about linebackers as much.
You would be screaming about a lot of stuff because he could have played strong safety. He would have been Jeremy Chin. He would have been Derwin James.
Yep.
But you know what else was funny about that year though? No, that they're not gonna talk about. They're not gonna say to me how I told them don't give this regime a 3rd year because you're just gonna mess yourself up. And they told me it take 3 years to build culture. Meanwhile, Dan Campbell come in 1 year, hold my beer. See, this is what I'm talking about. This shit we subscribe to don't make sense. It don't make sense.
Now, I wonder if they go tweak the defensive scheme now and might be run 3 linebackers as they should because
we gonna see.
Yeah, it's like you got a lot of heavy linebackers. You know, I was kind of hoping for a different linebacker. That's why I like the film session you put out, because I was like him or Deion Hentley or somebody like that. Somebody to give you a little bit different flexibility and a little bit more speed in certain areas. Because you need, if you're gonna be running a lot of zone, you need some speed at the linebacker position. Somebody who's fast and a little bit flexible that can get in certain areas the way he can when he can. And you probably want somebody better against the run defense. And it's like, we'll see with Campbell. I like him, but we'll see.
What's your favorite pick, man?
My favorite pick?
Yep.
I'm gonna give you one that's not the quarterback. I like the Branch pick a lot.
Okay.
Because more than I did when I initially was looking at his film before we got him, because it was like, at the very least, you can't put him in multiple sets. And I like players that we can line them up and throw out there, man. So it's like, in two, if you can't afford nobody to stay here, you got him to plug into play. So there's no reason why next draft that's going to be in the city, you missing out on certain positions. Because I still feel like we need a cornerback. I'm not cool with just hoping that Mosley be healthy. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, you didn't get one. So, yeah, that's the part that upsets me. But, yeah, I think Branch was the pick for me.
Okay. Hey, Pride Nation in the chat, man, talk to me. Who's your favorite draft pick? Put your heart on your sleeve and tell me who your favorite draft pick is. All right. No, I got people coming in, man. You know I love me some you. Appreciate you for coming through.
Sure, bro.
Bring in my next guest, my good brother. Appreciate you. People, I'm here for the shit today. My big brother, Detroit's own, Big Will.
What's up, man? How you doing? What up, though?
Not much, man. Listen, I'm not Patty Luke today.
Okay.
I'm confident, Luke. So what are your thoughts about it?
Well, I like I said, at first I was kind of shook up when it first started going. You know, like I told you, I was giving them a C because I'm like, I'm trying to figure it out. But as it went on, and the whole picture started coming together, I really like what they put together. I mean, you get 4 potential starters in your first 4 picks. That's a good draft.
Yeah. I mean, I got 3. I count them. See, I count. Well, I you figure they're gonna split carries. I wish they don't do that. I wish they had a primary and a backup, but they're gonna split carries between the running backs. So I guess he's a starter. Campbell's a starter. The tight end is a starter, and then who's your 4th?
And then Branch is gonna play,
but he's not gonna start.
He probably won't start, but I'm saying I'm putting him in the same thing as Gibbs. Okay. He's gonna play.
So he's gonna rotate.
You know what I'm saying?
Rotation. Okay.
He's gonna be in the rotation. That's what I mean by that. You know what I'm saying? When you got 4 rookies on the field, regardless if they start or not, that's experience. That's building a team. That's, you know what I'm saying? And now next year, if we don't decide we want to keep Gardner, Gardner Johnson?
Yep.
If we don't decide we want to keep him, now we got Branch ready to go.
Yeah, the one thing about Branch that stood out to me is the ball skills in terms of, his ability to locate the ball and get to that person who hit the ball. I like it. I like it a lot. I ain't gonna kill it, but my favorite pick was hands down Hendon Hooker.
Yeah, definitely.
Jared Goff has just lost all the leverage he could have had outside of he win a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
he lost all his leverage for any type of thing. So, and shout out to my man Messiah Flute. I hope I said that right. He says this draft showed me that Brad still believes in Pascal and Levi. I didn't even think about that. You're right.
Yeah, I did, and that was another thing I was thinking about Levi, because when they had their workout last week, he was there.
Okay.
So he worked out with the team. So I'm thinking he might be farther along than what we might know. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, by it being his back, you don't know. But if he's there, you know what I'm saying, we wouldn't have room for nobody else.
Okay.
So it's definitely I really grew on to this draft as it go. And then like the players they got after the draft. They got some good players there too.
Listen, shout out to Steve-O says, could have fooled me, Luke. You sound pretty petty today. I'm not being petty. I'm overly confident. It's a difference.
No, you just being yourself.
Hey, that too.
Yeah, the good thing is we didn't draft any Michigan players, so you're not mad.
Was it something that needed to be drafted for this team?
I'm just saying, because we did, and you good.
Nah, that's not nothing to do with it. That was there any outside of Jake Mooney? Who else was you willing to?
Well, I will say this though, it's good. You did get a Michigan State player that got drafted this year.
You see where he went though, right? Just want to put that out there. Come on, man. I need my man to come on back. I saw my man Rumble in there. Hold tight. I got everybody on the clock. I got the clock running. What else you got for me, man? What is your thoughts in terms of the draft picks? Do you feel like the Lions did enough this offseason to fix the defensive problems?
I actually do. Because the end of the season, their defense was doing better. The defensive line was working together a lot better at the end. The secondary wasn't keeping up with their coverage, and they revamped that whole secondary. You got a middle linebacker, a true middle linebacker, which we didn't have back there, that can lead the team and can do zone coverage and stuff like that. Because Rodriguez, when it comes to zone coverage, he was too little. He threw right over his head. So I do believe that they did a lot. I think they did enough to help the defense at least get to the middle of the road, and that's all we need with this offense.
Okay, I ain't mad at you, bro. I just want to put it out there. I don't want to keep you too long. I got people coming in. You know,
okay, go ahead, do
you,
your
sir.
For sure, man. I get with you.
For sure. I got to bring in my next guest, but I got to address this first one first. Okay, my man Rumble keep dipping out on me, but I can't. He says Hooker is not replacing Goff. Just stop, Luke. I'm not asking for Hooker to replace Goff. At least not this year. What are you talking about? Not this year. I said what Hooker does is take away all leverage. You think you prepared to pay $50 million to Jared Goff? I'm not. And I don't think Brad Holmes will too. Just look at the list. All the people that he's moved on from were in contract years. You think he's gonna give him $50 million? Okay. We're gonna see how quick everybody's attitude change when it comes down to it. Let me bring in my next guest. I see you back there, Mr. Wallace. Hold tight for me. My man Lions Rumbles in the building. What it do, brother? What up?
What's up, fam? Hey, you called it, man. You called it. You called tight end. You called it verbatim.
I said running backs. They was like, no, don't do it. That's stupid. Okay.
Tight end, and then you called Hendon Hooker. So shout out to you for that, man.
Appreciate it.
Luke Rajamas. That's what I'm gonna call you.
What you got for the people, man?
Yeah, man, I'm okay with the draft, man. Again, they had high quality players, and these guys are hungry, you know. And again, that's the part of the culture, like we've been saying, man. This team is on the rise, and these young players know it, and they know they're going to have an input. Some of them, especially Jack Campbell. I thought that was a solid pick. I feel like that's a guy who's going to be used in various, you know, packages, along with like the last guy said, you know, Levi. It seems like Levi could potentially be coming back. It's so much upside with this draft, including the UDFAs. Like those guys are solid too. But I think like last year, like we said this before, that you could tell they were building depth last year. And then of course this year, it seems like a couple pieces are potential starters right out the gate. So all in all, I mean, I'm very happy with what they did. Again, I can't grade it. Like you said, I can't grade it either. I'm just going to see what happens. Shout out to the coordinators, you know, Dre Bly. I know he got some toys. Shout out to CJ Gardner. My bad. I'm bad with names. You know, I think he's where he wants to be. So overall, I'm looking to see what the D-line does. What are they going to do? What's their emphasis going to be? Is it going to be to plug the middle and hopefully have the ends and the outside linebackers do all the dirty work, or are they going to still get abused up the middle? So
Okay.
That's my only issue.
Yeah, see, my thing is this. My issue was all the things that people were complaining about that had nothing to do with the real thing that they should have been complaining about. They're not complaining about if the defense has been done enough to stop them. Because guess what? The reason many of us wanted Jalen Carter was because outside of Aleem McNeil, There was no D tackles really holding it down. You got the D in, great. You lucked up, and by accident, nobody picked up James Houston. He gets an opportunity to come in, and he showed his stuff. Which, by the way, to all you people who scream, go get Tyree Wilson. It looks like another thing I said was right. Why are we going to get a pass rusher when you got James Houston? He's a situational guy. Don't sound like it to me.
Yeah, situation is we need help. So
yeah,
I think
talk to him.
Yeah, his situation is we need help. Another solid pickup, Brad Holmes. I think we're going to be shocked this year as far as opposing offenses are going to be shocked. This team is young, they're hungry. Shout out to him for kind of giving Swift an opportunity with Philly. I don't know, man. I just felt like Swift wasn't. I don't know. I think he felt.
I'm going to get into that too.
He felt jaded. I think he was a little jaded.
He was jaded though, bro. If you think about it,
yeah.
This guy was drafted in the second round. He comes in. He's like, yeah, I'm going to get my shot. And they go out and sign Adrian Peterson and make him the starter.
Yeah.
Then they fire that coaching staff. He's like, all right, cool. This is my chance. I'm going to show my stuff. This is it. Bam. They go out. They sign Jamal Williams and make him the starter.
Yeah.
Then Jamal Williams get hurt. He's like, you know what? F this. Seize the moment. He goes out and balls the fuck out. Just ball out.
Right.
And at the moment that man got healthy, he was back to being a backup. Yeah, I'd be jaded too.
Yeah, I mean,
be jaded too.
It's kind of almost like Kerryon Johnson all over again, man. Like, I don't know, man. I just, like you said, I think he had enough of the team. But at the end of the day, he is a great talent. Kudos to him for going to Philly, and he's back with the person that drafted him. So my hat's off to him.
100% Rumble. Let me get my other people up in here, man.
Yes, sir.
And I want to address this question really quick. My man Wallace is up next. Let me get my man Chris Wallace in. Wallace, before we get going, let me address this question. My man Brent, he says, see, Chauncey Johnson Gardner Jr., whatever all that stuff is, wants that bag next year. Do you think that's why we drafted Brent? No. I think that he's there to replace Tracy Walker. What do you mean, Luke? That doesn't make sense. It makes perfect sense. Because he's a guy who can still play the nickel and still give them that third safety on the field. Whereas when you look at the contract for Tracy Walker, I'm almost sure there's an out on that extension. He has an out for that. And so I'm just saying that I feel like it's not a matter of this, but it's a matter of saying, look, either if let's say Chauncey Gardner balls out and we do give him the bag, cool, we give him the bag. But guess what? If he don't, then he got this guy to step in. It's the same thing. So it's all good. Now, my man, Mr. Wallace, talk your talk.
What up, though? What up, though?
What's going on, brother? Talk your talk.
Man, so, all right, I'm going to give a grade on the draft, but it's just potential of what I see on paper. Then, because, like, I agree with you in the sense of we haven't seen nothing. And honestly, depending on who takes, who catch on faster or slower, obviously depends on that. But there's one thing I disagree with y'all on, and I ain't never really disagree with you, Luke, but the Swift take, I don't agree on. Like, I knew that we needed another running back because we was going to get rid of him. Like, I'm cool with them trading him, but, like, I don't feel like he got jaded at all because people fail to realize that the times he did have his shots, what happened? Was he not in and out of injury?
But he balled, though.
I mean, he did, but then, you know what I'm saying? But then the one thing I don't like in sports games is divas. I don't care what type of game it is, basketball, football. If you a diva because you got that, it's about me mentality, it's like, okay, we understand you ain't get the ball as much as you want to be. But guess what, dude? If we felt that you was the 3-down back that the last regime thought you was, and you think you are, and everybody else think you are, you would be in there to getting those initial touches. Now, I understand that Jamal took most of the snaps and had the ball, but we talking about it's not like they the same running back. if they was the same, they not even nowhere near close to the same type of running back. The build, like Jamal can take those pounders. You gonna tell me if Swift got those same 17, or however many touches or whatever that Jamal got, that would have been the outcome?
Swift had more big runs than Jamal Williams.
Yeah. He
had more big plays than Jamal Williams. He
did, but when we talking about trenches and we talking about goal line, you're not putting Swift in there. He's going to get ate up.
But that's not necessarily true because they never gave him opportunity. Just like when they gave opportunity to Jamal Williams with the catch, it wasn't there, which is why he's gone. So I'm not arguing with you, but this is why I say it's a mistake. This is right here is the potential roster for the Lions.
I'm gonna be honest. The reason why I'm not really mad at them for trading Swift is because, let's be honest, they don't owe him nothing. We didn't draft you. You're not. Now everybody says that. Oh well, Gibbs is essentially the same running back, but he's better. He's faster. Now I can't really say that until he get out there. But from what I've seen, that dude is, man, he balls, bro. He got home run speed. You know what I'm saying? And we could do a lot of different things with him, but it's crazy because you can almost argue that the same things we can do with Gibbs, we could have did Swift. But when you can't stay healthy, it's a lot of woulda, coulda, shoulda. So,
but you won't get me to disagree with you about the health part, right? But I think sometimes when you I'll give you a perfect example, right, bro? Just follow me on this little bit of logic, right?
Okay.
You ever played football of any level in your life, right? You played before, right?
Yeah, in my high school.
Okay. Now, you probably still work out now, right?
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit, all right. But what happens if you stop working out? What happens when you don't? What happens when you don't work out as much as you used to work out? What happens when you stop stretching? What happens?
You get out flexibility. Yeah, you get.
See? And this is another fun fact right here. You ever heard the saying, if you don't use it, you lose it? That's true. That's actually a true statement, right? So at the end of the day, if you got a guy who's not really being used, he can lose a lot. The reason why I have a problem with them letting him go is because this is your starting 3 running backs right now. Montgomery, Gibbs, and Craig Reynolds. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm happy we got a draft pick for him, but it's for 2025. It's a 4th round pick in 2025. God, let me still be here to see it. Right? But at the end of the day, David Montgomery be hurt.
Yeah.
If David Montgomery get hurt, and let's just say hypothetically, Gibbs he's a little slow to the learning curve. Now what?
Yeah, but you're gonna keep up. But the thing is now if that was to happen, that will fall on Brad Holmes because then it would be like, okay, well, nobody thought of this scenario. But at the same time, it's like, why? If I'm drafting a running back, I know for a fact that my running back room is already crowded, and he's not going to essentially keep 2 of the same type of running backs. I mean, I don't know. I feel I'm happy for him because he get a second chance. So we get to see what he can do behind just as of a good line, or not even a better, if not a better line than ours. And if he get the opportunities and he ball out, good for him. But I just feel like it's like out with the old and with the new type of thing. It's like, we finally really got all of the last regime players out of there. It was like a dark cloud on us, and they tried to, salvage certain people or whatever. They just didn't pan out. It's not that, I don't have nothing against any of the players, but when you got facts is facts. When you know what I'm saying? We can talk about what you can do and what you can't do, but when you injured or when you're not been able to perform and not available for the team, it don't matter. That's all people are gonna worry about. Did you play?
I mean, and I get it. I just look at it like this. You know that it's going to be some injuries this year. We don't know who. Sure. We don't know who. But I'm just saying, as a person looking at this, let's say this is your projected 53-man roster right now. That they're trying to pre-project it. If that's your running back core, you feel good going into the season with them and thinking that they're going to hold up for the whole 17-game season. That's a legit question. Because he gets hurt every year. Last year, he just played through it. So I'm asking.
Honestly, I mean, that's dicey. That's dicey.
See what I'm saying?
But my thing is this. Let's say this do happen and we kept Swift. Now, would Swift get hurt? Because he's already been proven that it's hard for him to stay healthy also.
Okay, so let's say hypothetically we follow that. Let's say Montgomery get hurt. We cap Swift get hurt, right? Cool. You still got Jahmyr Gibbs, you still got Craig Reynolds, right? And you're not in a good situation from that standpoint. However, now this is why they added another running back, the guy from Minnesota. And I'm not even trying to say his goddamn name. You got me once, you won't get me again. All right. But that's why you add another running back that you can kind of hope floats under the radar and pray to God that nobody sees it. I'm just only pointing out that look, I just looking at that, it concerns me. That's all. That's it.
But yeah, my thoughts on the draft, though, to be honest, man, I really dislike our fan base because they are a bunch of unknowledgeable football people. Like, how you like a sport and you have no clue of what's going on? Like, this is the thing, the positional value, bullcrap, everybody, and we talked about this the other stream ago. I don't care about that because guess what? If he ball out, I don't care if you took him at 130, 209. Like it doesn't matter because like at the end of the day, nobody was talking about positional value when Tom Brady won all them rings. He wasn't projected a first round draft pick.
Hey, look, my man. First of all, shout out to the Darren for breaking it down to me. I don't remember his name being that short. I felt like it was something else, but don't worry about it. He said it's Ibrahim. Okay, I got it. I'm just sorry. Shout out to my man, Michael Kimber. What's going on, Michael?
To answer your question, I feel like it's hard to say because it's almost one of those we gotta wait till it pan out. But if we just talking about what we have right now, and if this is the team we going in there with, I'm still struggling about us defending the run. I mean, yeah, I watched, some tape on the guy, and I even, went and did some research, been watching whatever videos, anything I could find on him, and it's like, you get excited because you're like, yeah, he's super big, but it's like, dude, there's no point of attack. Okay, if you can't bull rush somebody,
he raw. Just say he raw. He raw.
Yeah. You like Giannis when he first came out. You had one move, and if somebody learned how to stop that one move or anticipate it, or even slow you down, there's not like what you gonna do then. Now, I'm not saying that he can't come out and contribute or he not going to be like a super huge help. Okay, Pinky, thanks. My bad, man. My baby kind of mad.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you mad.
I'm sorry.
Too mad.
Hey, in case they didn't catch the memo, fatherhood's the best hood.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's the only hood I rap, man. But,
I rap.
But yeah, so I mean, I'm still questionable. If anything, I'm questionable. But I don't think nobody gonna be thrown on us like they did because, like, we
okay.
and
I'm not worried about that though, Chris. I'm worried about the pass. So, dang, I know Rumble probably got a phone call, but I'm worried about them running the ball on us. I'm not worried about the pass game. So that's what it boiled down to. So
I mean, I feel like Campbell gonna help a lot though because that dude is fast. If I'm not mistaken, we had this conversation last stream, and you was basically pointing out that how long it took him to actually move. Like, he got a good IQ, but his reaction time is just too slow. It's like and especially when you that tall, you can see the field, but you fast to be that big and that fast, like. As soon as you recognize that you're supposed to be flying through there, like you waiting for it to develop to pick your shot when, and I get it, you don't want to overplay, but sometimes, man, you just got to trust your instincts. But I feel like that's not something he's going to struggle with. Like, dude is a day one starter for me. Like, he has to be at 18. I don't care what he was projected, because a lot of, if people want to go off that, a lot of mock drafts had him as the best linebacker out of the whole court. Like, we're not talking about edge rushers, and that's another thing people fail to realize. Like, we're not talking about edge rushers, and we got, you know what I'm saying, Hutch, and then we got James Houston, which we haven't even seen him in the full season yet. We haven't even unleashed him for real.
Correct.
You know, and then we got the healthy Warrior. So like we got some pieces to play around with. So I'm confident, but it's still a little shaky. I can't say, oh, ain't nobody about to run on us, but you know, I'm pretty sure they're gonna mix some things up and they're gonna find something valuable to do.
All right, let me address this. My man Steve says positional value is a real thing. Some positions get paid more than others. The goal is to get the highest paid position on rookie contracts. Why is that hard to understand? Then what you should so essentially what you're saying is every team should draft quarterback with the first 32 picks, because that's going to be the highest contract, right?
This is why. Ooh, no, go ahead.
So if we're doing it that way, this is why I said I don't care about positional value, and it's not a real thing. Positional value is not a real thing because guess what? Even if you get the highest paid position on a rookie contract, if they are not a good player, i.e. Jamarcus Russell,
Carson Wentz,
like who cares?
You eating shit. Cares? Let's be honest.
You know what I'm saying? Now, shout out to my man, Amon Washington. He says, we addressed everything. He says, we upgraded our running back room. We upgraded our linebacker room. We drastically upgraded our DB room. We got a quarterback everyone was crying for. We even got another receiver. What the fuck do y'all want from Holmes? He picked studs. I don't have a problem with the draft. I
love the draft pick.
I said, I love that enough to address the defense. That's what I asked.
I loved every pick. Honestly, I was surprised by the first two, but I wasn't upset at them because, but I do want to go back to the positional value thing because there's a reason why. Okay, so for instance, you got the quarterback, we got Hooker, whatever. Now he was projected to be, you know what I'm saying, would have been probably top 5. He would have been gone top 10, you know, quarterback, whatever, because of the injury, blase speak. Okay. Now, if you feel like this is the guy we got a plan for him, blase speak, they would have got him at 6. I mean, and let me just argue the fact, man. You can't say that's bullshit because if we gonna trade up and get a wide receiver at 12 who can't play, why wouldn't we have just got the quarterback that fell to us? And he was projected high because guess what? They was like, I don't even think they planned that. I think it was just one of the things like, hey, he's still one of the people on our board and he's just sitting here. So let's go get this guy, you know, because at this point, you have no risk involved. None. Just upside. Like if he comes, he get to sit behind Goff, and then it's like he's not instantly putting pressure on Goff. It's basically one of them insurance policies. Like, okay, if Goff go down, we have somebody we developing that we can give the keys to. You know what I'm saying? Or if Goff don't, he play trash or whatever. Okay, no harm, no foul. Get him out of here. So we're in the best position that we can be, and at the end of the day, it don't matter where we took the quarterback. We got a really good quarterback. And if he pans out, everybody talking about the age. Man, what are you talking about? How old is Ryan Tannehill? How old is Tom Brady? Like, people almost making it to be 50 and still playing down there. So it's like, come on, man.
I don't get the whole age complaint. I don't get it.
Man, he's one. Like, dude, he's accurate. The dude is mobile. Like, he can make every throw. Like, dude, we got a steal. He is absolute steal. But it's just that positional value because, like, you gonna go by that. If they would have went by positional value, now let's say they could have got some names. Like, you could have got people, whatever, and they don't pan out, like you said. Now nobody cares where you took him. Oh, he trash. Get him out of here. We done seen this time and time again. We done seen, 3, 4th rounders or, 5th rounders become better than people who got drafted. We seen undrafted people who turned out to be better than some top 10 selections. Come on, man. Like, they did exactly what they were supposed to do. Like,
let me bring some more people in. I want to, because we getting ready to do the final thoughts. I want to bring some more people in, but I also want to make sure that I address the stuff that is addressed. I want to make sure that we had a show where we dispel all of those narratives, all that stuff that we were subscribing to that had no merit, all that BS. I want to make sure that we removed any doubt when it came to that. I want to make sure that there was no conflict when it came to that. So let me bring in my other people. My man Lions Rumble hung in the back with us. My man Crimson Shadow. I'm going to go down the list, obviously, because I want to get ready to get to the final thoughts in a minute. And like I said, I just generally, for me, it came down to that one question only. It's a question that for me, I just want to know what people's thoughts are. Did we do enough to address the defense? The defense that was ranked 30th. The defense who had the 4th worst rushing defense. Did we do enough? And if your answer is yes, hey, you my peoples. You the kind of people I want to talk. So I just want to put that out there, for the people who think I'm just trying to be funny. No, I'm serious. Did we do enough? That's a legitimate question that I really want to know. You know what I mean? So shout out to my man, the Dern. He felt the need for us to share the sentiments of one Brad home.
That's pretty accurate.
That's right. F your mock draft. Yeah, that's right. F your mock draft. F your positional value. F your I can't do this and I can't do that. F you if you don't like what I did. You can hate me now, love me later. I got room with a big heart. You feel me? I do got one more thing I got to put in there really quick, fellas, and I want y'all opinion on it as a whole because I find it funny. I find it funny. Have you seen the power rankings? This BS. Let's take a gander. Now, mind you, this is why this is garbage to me because they literally, after signing Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, dropped us in the power ranking, right? They dropped us. So let's see what happened after this draft. Kansas City is 1, Eagles is 2, Bengals is 3, Bills is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They go down 1. Okay, 9. They stay at 9, 10, and we 11.
You're shitting me.
Whatever. I don't give a shit about it. But
that's messed up.
But to the people who want to read it, feel free to take a gander at it. They this is what they think. I don't really care. It's power rankings. You start off at the top 11 team. 14 teams get in there, so they've already said you should be a playoff team at this point.
It's Mel Kiper, for God's sakes, in that realm. Let's be fair. This is as irrelevant as it gets.
I just want to put it out there. Listen, let me take a look at a few more questions, and we're going to get to the final thought. Luke, at pick 12, given who was on the board, who would you have taken? Kalijah Kancey? Yeah. I would have took Kalijah Kancey at 12. I wanted the D tackle so bad. You know what I mean? I'd have took Kalijah Kancey. I mean, I could have did it. I could have did it a lot of ways. Like I said, if you didn't feel confident with Carter, you could have just took Bijan.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder what's up with Levi. I don't know. Like you said, they could have addressed it if they felt like he wasn't going to be available, or if they felt like he wasn't going to be he wasn't going to be part of the team. But something, I don't know. I just got a good feeling about it, man. Hopefully the kid can, produce and actually play some games this year and remain healthy. I know we got the new medical team staff there, so hopefully a lot of our guys who have, again, something that the previous regime did not address, and we had guys who were injured and misdiagnosed, and it's like we take for granted how important that kind of stuff is, because if you're misdiagnosed and you're not doing the proper regimen to heal something that was misdiagnosed, well, you're never going to be healthy. It was misdiagnosed. So kudos to them. Kudos to Sheila and the regime for just, addressing certain issues and that we might take for granted or may not even pay attention to. So shout out to them.
Yep. Joel C says Cansey over Gibbs. Yep. I wanted the D tackle.
Yeah. I agree.
If you wasn't going to take Carter, I still wanted the D tackle, because I'm telling you right now, there needs to be somebody that can anchor, like not be a project, but anchor along with McNeil. That's just my, And as Mike the kid says, Brad, don't care who you wanted.
The biggest question I walked away from the draft was, I was actually really shocked we didn't take any cornerbacks in this draft. I was like thinking we traded Jeff Okudah, and I was thinking, okay, I'm not going to judge anything until I see the draft. I was expecting, we're going to go out and get a Porter, we're going to go out and get a Gonzalez, or we're going to go out and nope, we passed on Gonzalez twice. I was like, wow, okay, we're not even going to take a project at all.
You know what it was? Listen, okay, so I was supposed to do a video on Gonzalez, and work slowed it down. Here's the problem. Gonzalez was the kind of player who was so cocky, he was so confident in his ability that he didn't always perform up to the par. He would do stuff like lollygag on certain routes and stuff like that, and then try to be like, oh, let me quickly go back and get the ball, like he was tricking somebody. And so they gave up a lot of plays because he was not staying technical sound in his technique and a lot of those things. And that's why they was not appealed by him. So to me, my problem with Gonzalez was also this. When you watch him in a lot of those games, when they was like really good receivers, he didn't play them like they was really good receivers. You know what I mean? When they was really trash receivers, he played them like they was really good receivers.
Okay, that answers that question. But what about like guys like, I don't know, Cam Smith, Keely Ringo, Garrett Wilson?
They at that point, and I think shout out to Jon Kapler, who noticed that he was going offense, defense. So at that point, it was a matter of who's the best offensive player left, who's the best defensive player left. That's all it was.
Fair enough, then. Tic-tac-toe.
Yep. All right, good people. We've been on for an hour and 56 minutes. I hope y'all enjoyed today. I hope I didn't get Patty. I was trying to stay super confident. No Patty coming out today.
I did sound like Petty Luke. I ain't gonna lie.
I mean,
it was minor.
I mean, if it was Patty Luke, I would have came out with like a little bit different one.
Yeah, Petty light, not bad.
See, I came out with this. Patty Luke would have came out to this. You see what I'm saying? But no, I didn't. I came out to something
awake and everything.
All right, let's get to the final thoughts. My man Chris Wallace, thank you for joining me. My man Detroit's own Big Wheel, thank you for joining me. D-Map Zoom, thank you for joining me. Crimson Shadow, Lions Rumble 81, thank you for joining me. Nomus J is in the building. If you don't know, check out the channel. It is linked in the description, and it's linked on my channel as well. Thanks for joining me. I gotta get to these final thoughts, and to all the people who showed up on the chat today, thanks for joining me. Thanks for participating and hearing me out and having fun with me. This is a fun moment. I needed to get that off my chest anyway. It was therapeutic. You feel me?
Hey.
Let me get into it. Chris, give the people your final thoughts.
My final thoughts is everybody needs to calm down, man, and just see, what is going to happen, really. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay to be optimistic. It's okay to be worried, but, just calm down. If you trust the process, because look, and I ain't trying to get all super spiritual, but look, if you trust God, you can't question the things he do for you just because it ain't lining up with your plan. You got to trust the process, and the plan is bigger than what you can see or what you think. So I'm gonna trust it. I feel like everybody that we drafted, is gonna play a big role in our future. Some is gonna be day one starters, and we got talent. It ain't a bunch of nobodies who we can't find tape on or nobody knows. So, I'm excited, and I'm just ready for some football, man.
Hey, I hear that, my man's Crimson Shadow. You've rocked with me for a long time. Always been a very wonderful person to be around and enjoy. Give the people your final thoughts.
Well, ride or die. I mean, let's be fair. Even if we say we go to Super Bowl, I'll be the happiest man in the world if we do. But if we suck again, well, I'm just going to stay humble. I'm just going to ride or die with the Lions. That's just kind of how it goes. I've been a fan for 20 years, and I'm probably going to be let down by this team or risen up one way or the other. Ride or die.
Hey, support that. And last but certainly not least, my man who's out here putting in work, who manages to still somehow listen to all of the content creators and still show love and support and do a job. The king of all multitasking himself, Mr. Lions Rumble 81.
Oh, man.
Final thoughts.
Thank you, Luke. As always, a pleasure to be here, part of this. This is incredible. So, final thoughts, man. Like, hey, I'm kind of riding with Crimson and you and Chris, man. Like, we have to give this thing time to see what kind of players we have. We know we have a competent front office, so they've answered they've answered quite a bit of questions I had regarding them, and just in their first 2 seasons. And the 3-game to 9-game jump was impressive to say the least. And some of those players are no longer here. So now again, let's see if they can conquer this. Let's see if they can conquer this and make this a 10 to 12 win team. But yeah, you're right on the head, man. The NFC North should be ours this year. We should be competing for at minimum a wild card spot. At minimum, if all these guys are healthy and all our coordinators are the guys who we want there, our cornerbacks at the very least should be well equipped. We have some veterans back there, so I'm okay with that. But again, that defensive line, they need courage, they need confidence, whatever the case may be. I'm hoping Shepard and Aaron Glenn and company really address that and get it to where these guys can play their position and be the best at it. So I'm like you guys, I'm ready for the season, man. Is it preseason yet? Like I'm really ready, man. I honestly cannot wait. Jack Campbell, we got some studs who I've been waiting, just itching to see, like, well, what would it be like if we got him, or what would it be like if we got this guy? So, all in all, I'm hoping and grateful for another year to see these boys shine. So,
hey, I get that, man. Listen, to all the people who came in here, took and participated in part of the process, I cannot thank you enough. You know me, I can't end the show unless I do it on a positive note. I wanted to kind of give it a different, spin, aka the truth. I think that what I said was the truth. That the things that people were complaining about, they're not in line with what the issues were. You wasn't complaining about, hey, did we fix the defense? You was complaining about where we took somebody. You wasn't complaining about, hey, did we miss out on a generational talent at running back for the second best option? We don't know, but I know this: over the next 3 seasons, that's going to be the talk of the town. Here's today's positive quote to the good people. I don't know who wrote this, but it hit me different. As you get older, you start to understand the difference between friends and associates, family and blood, business and work, love and lust, wants and needs, and most of all, what's important and what is not. Boy, that was needed for somebody today here, because I know it's somebody that's putting a lot of concern on things that don't concern them. Instead of being concerned about their peace, they're concerned about the things that's disrupting it. Instead of being concerned about their happiness, they're concerned about the things that's trying to get in the way of it. They need to put their attention on the things that are most important and understand what is not. They need to put that energy into something that makes them better, that lifts them up, that tells them that, hey, we've been to the bottom, but the top was never our ceiling. The sky couldn't stop us, and my ability to fly had nothing to do with wings. There is somebody right now sitting up here trying to figure out the level of importance they need as it pertains to their job. There's somebody out here trying to figure out the level of importance they need as it pertains to a relationship. There's somebody right now trying to figure out the importance when it comes to their bills, and they're trying to figure out how to prioritize all these things and put them together. But here's what I can tell you. If you prioritize you first, if you prioritize your peace, if you prioritize your happiness, if you prioritize your health, then everything else in the middle don't matter. All the things that you thought matter ain't gonna be a factor. The friends who came and went was not your downfall. The family who was there by blood didn't make them family. The people that you thought that you loved because you was lusting over and they exited the door that left another door for the person who truly loved you to come in was still there in your life. And everything else around you that you thought had any real meaning behind it just simply didn't. I'm just asking y'all to do one thing today. Know the difference between what is and what is not important. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, hit that like, subscribe, notification bell. And if you ain't did nothing else, don't be no chump. Please do your research. We are out.